Missed you all so much. Give me just one second. Let me close my door. Hello. Oh my God. We are into 2023, another year of greatness, another year of getting better at this thing called life. More opportunities to build strategy for a better you, which is why you are joining me tonight. I am Nicole Latrice. I am the founder of The Work in Progress, which is not only the community space that you are joining me in tonight, but it is I want it to be a movement. I want the people that I interact with and the clients that I work with, I want them to be change engines starting in their own world, their own space, their own lives, their own families, and letting it radiate out into the world. And when we have more people who are willing to take on those, I don't want to use challenges because challenges is always used as a negative or viewed, I'm sorry, as a negative thing. I'm gonna have to figure out a word, but I want more people to like take it head on and just be like, okay, I can do this. And I can see the benefit in making this change, not only for myself, for my children, and also for the rest of the world that I have to live in and leave for those that are coming after me. As I mentioned, we are coming live weekly every Friday, 7 p.m. here in the community. If you know anyone that can benefit from being a part of the conversation, invite them to join the group. There's no, oh, how can I say this? There's no limit to what you can do when you have more people that are coming together as a collective, sharing energy, sharing insights. One thing I appreciate just about like my own experience where I am as of today, January 6th, 2023, is my expansion in collaboration. And it's not collaboration just from a business standpoint, it is also collaboration from a life standpoint, just being able to mix and mingle and connect with people, not only in this space, but just in my everyday life too, and like listen to what it is they have to say and where their story has led them and how they've fallen and, experienced a lot of challenges along the way, but how they're still forging forward because it's really like the way I look at my life. And that's how I want my clients, my daughter, her children, just to be able to not let anything stop you from getting to where it is that you want to be, the things that you want to have, and the things that you want to do. All of it is possible, but you have to build to get there. Like if you don't come out the womb with everything readily available to you, disposable, unlimited cash flow, anything like that, that just doesn't happen. You have to build it. And that is, the mantra of the work in progress. It is to build strategy for a better you, however that needs to happen. I am a mindset elevation coach and a vision strategist. I like that they work in tandem with one another because it's not enough to elevate your mind, elevate your way of thinking, to elevate your attention to your thought processes and the things that you think about without including the vision of where you want those things to take you. Because as one increases or changes or develops or evolves, then the other one should follow suit. And that is, the purpose of why we're having this conversation series right now, which is unlocking the 7 secrets of greatness in you. My mission really is to like empower people to live as their authentic self, to first identify, I'm sorry, you have to identify who you are, who you want to be, and how that person plays a part in the future that it is that you want to live. I help you identify who that person is. And in the process of identifying who that person is, we look at it all. We look at the past, the present, and the future all as one collective because you cannot get to where you're going without first looking back on where you've come. You don't have to dwell on it. You don't have to resent it, anything like that, but it is a part of your story. And then you have to look at where you are because you have to build in order to get to the future you, the elevated level of greatness that is waiting to be unlocked. So tonight I am discussing secret number 4, which is courage. It's going to give you a quick, review kind of where we've come so far. Like I said, the whole process is we take the opportunity to sit down and give certain things their proper space and places. We have to look back to see where it is that we are and where it is that we're going. So in week 1 of this conversation series, Unlocking the 7 Secrets of Greatness in You, week 1 was about what greatness is not. I know that with social media and just all these different avenues that we have to see so much of the world compared to before the computer age and all of that, like we were like kind of in a respective bubble, like you could see stuff on TV and it took you outside of your current world just a little bit. But with social media and the internet, you're getting the opportunity to really be able to connect and have a bird's eye view of other people's lives that you may not have previously. So greatness is not wealth. What makes you great has nothing to do with what's in your bank account, the amount of money that's in your pockets, your ducats, your coin, your fetty, your cheese, whatever you want to put in there. Greatness should not be surrounded around your wealth. Wealth can be an avenue, it can be a resource to get into some areas of greatness that it is that you want to achieve. But wealth should not be synonymous with how you feel you're great, because there's so much greatness that is possible from all of us. We just have to take the opportunity and do the work in order to let it come out. Another thing that greatness is not fame. Some people say, well, wealth and fame, they're hand in hand. No, they're not. Because you can have it's a lot of wealthy people who are not famous. And then it's a lot of famous people who are wealthy because of their fame, but fame comes and goes. When, to a certain degree, if you mess up, if you're famous and you mess up, it takes a long time, depending on what you did, to be able to come back and even possibly touch that previous level of greatness that you may have before. There are so many famous people that have been the ones to actually change the world, but they're not getting the notoriety. They don't get what celebrities nowadays get. And there are some people who is just like, they do what they do because it is necessary in the world. And then by them doing what they do, inadvertently, yes, they do become famous, but they're not necessarily seeking that fame firsthand. They're just putting goodness out into the world enough times and over a good amount of time that, hey, by the end of it, they end up becoming famous. If you see me looking off, I have a separate screen that's up where all my stuff is, my little back end, being able to see who's joining me tonight. I'm very appreciative for each and every opportunity that I get to connect and talk with you guys and just hopefully, provide some good words of wisdom, share some insight on my story, and just be able to help you do this thing called life a little bit better. The third thing that greatness is not physical strength. You have people like Mother Teresa, Mahatma Gandhi. Those two people I would say are great, but they're the most frail, reserved, docile people that you will see from first glance, but they did some great things in this world. So in week 2, we shifted to, and all of this should help you to be able to continue to grow and to expand upon where it is in each of these that you can see yourself, because you have to see it before you see it. You have to see your version of the future and then kind of reverse engineer it to be able to actually get to that point But at the same time, you have to be willing to make adjustments along the way. So in week 2, we talked about your vision, not just like what you physically see with your eyes, but the ability of your mind can take you so many places if you just allow it to see what it is that you truly desire, what it is that you feel is great. Your vision and your goals are two totally different things. And the, illustration that I used during week 2 was like, think of it as um you're on a train ride. Your vision is the destination. Your vision is, I'm at the end. I'm in Monaco. I'm a millionaire. I'm a good mom. I'm a good wife. My divorce does not define me. I told you, prior to this in my post earlier today, that I'm going to share some insight that pertains to secret number 4, which is courage. And one of the biggest transitions of my life in which I had to lean more on courage in order to get to the next step of where it is I see myself in my own journey. So, vision versus goals. Your vision is the destination, your goals are the stops along the way. Talked about it previously as well. Dumb goals versus smart goals. It's the exact same thing. You start with the biggest overall view of the picture that it is that you want when it comes to your life. And then your smart goals are the actual, like, fine tuned steps that you would do in order to achieve that overall bigger goal. That's how you continue to build. And in that conversation about your vision, one of the points that I put out there was there's 3 elements I feel that play a part in your vision. Is your purpose. Your purpose is like, why do you want the things that you want? Why do you see your version of the future that it is that you feel like you want to achieve? Because if those things are not connected to your purpose, then you won't feel fulfilled with the journey along the way. You'll see, oh, just A to Z. And if it does not come to fruition that easy, then you start to get down on yourself. You become hard on yourself. You tell yourself that it'll never happen, things like that. And that's not true. Anything can happen that you want it to. Sorry, I have some tea because I'm cold and I really wanted some tea. Fun fact about me, I love tea. It's like my favorite thing to drink, my favorite thing to make. I prefer loose leaf tea. But tea in a bag is fine too. But I won't go off on the tangent. Shout out to Black Wall Street Liquid Lounge for their love potion. Oh my God, it's like the best tea in the world. But anyways, wish I had some right now. But anyway, so like we were talking about your purpose. If you are not rooted and connected, if your vision, if your goals are not rooted and connected in why you want that thing, why you want to be with that person, why you want to be that version of yourself, why it's important for you to like make sure that your kids are good, not monetarily, not in that way, but that they are equipped for any possible thing that this crazy world could have in store, because Lord knows that it is. But your purpose has to be in the forefront of your vision. The second of the 3 elements was seeing the bigger picture. Like I said previously, you have to see it before you see it. If you do not have the vision to see where it is that you ultimately want to be, then you're just going to haphazardly continue to go through life just putting pieces together. Sometimes those pieces can be specific people, it can be specific situations, it can be so many different unknowns, as opposed to you taking the time to really see what it is that you want and lay it out and make the vision clear. And then the third of the 3 elements of vision is your values. What matters to you? What do you, as being the person that you want to be in your version of the future, what does that person leave? What does that person provide to those around them? What value will you put out into this future sense of your universe? Like, your values are rooted in so many different things. And if you don't give yourself the time and the space to be able to actually sit down and let the possibility of these terms and these notions come to you, then I can guarantee you, whatever version of the future you it is that you want to live, you'll never get there. You'll never fully get there because you're not doing what needs to be done now to achieve that possibility. Then we get our values from so many different places, and sometimes they're developed intentionally and sometimes they're developed subconsciously. Our parents play a huge part in where our value system starts. And for some of us, it may be our parents, others, it may be our grandparents, it may be teachers, it may be friends, legitimately childhood friends. I think, if I'm not mistaken, and hopefully she don't kill me, my oldest friendship is, how old am I? I'm 38, 35 years old. How many of y'all put it in the chat? Let me know, what is your longest friendship? And I will guarantee you that some of the values and the way that you look at the world came from that relationship, because that is someone that you spent a great amount of time with. You both have grown together over the years. There have been changes, there have been children, there have been spouses, there have been boyfriends, there have been all kinds of scenarios that y'all have weathered the storm through. So you cannot imagine that you would not pick something up from seeing their experiences, y'all being a part of each other's experiences, and then also the things that you talk about. And then the last thing, when we were talking about vision, was use your vision as a tool. Like I said, let it be. If you're thinking about building a house, your vision will be like the artist rendering of what your house looks like, from the foundation to the color of the brick to the type of windows that you put in, the shape of the windows, the color of the rooms, your fixtures in your bathroom and your kitchen, how you want the furniture to, like, your vision is one of the most important and greatest tools that it is that you have. But a lot of people, hopefully not any of you, but that I would imagine that there are a lot of people in this world who unfortunately are not utilizing their vision to their fullest potential. I know I am. I'm using it a little too much, not overworking it, but it's firing on all cylinders, and I'm okay with it. I like it. Week 3, we talked about passion and drive. Passion and drive are the things that fuel you to have your vision and to accomplish your goals. It is like a elevated definition of your purpose. Passion and drive should directly stem from what you feel your purpose is. And when I say purpose, purpose is not meant in the context to which, if you're not doing something for someone else, then you're not living, your greatest purpose. Your purpose is the thing that you're supposed to be doing. And as long as you're not being malicious, or to a certain degree, like selfish in an exclusionary way, like, focus on you, be about you, make sure that you are good. Everything starts and stops with you, and then it radiates out from there. When it comes to your passion and drive, for your passion and drive, like, that should be something, it's more, I would like to say, a little bit more private compared to your vision. Like, yes, you should speak your vision into existence because there is so much power in words. But when it comes to your passion and drive are like the top secret things kind of that get you out of the bed in the morning. It gets you going. We ain't talking about, I'm not talking about coffee either, but it makes it to where you want to continue to push forward. So when we were talking about passion and drive, there were some tips that I gave on how to maintain your passion and drive. The first one was don't compromise, don't settle. Whatever your life is meant to be, don't settle for anything less than what it is you want your life to be. You only have one life to live. Like, I have this necklace, I never take it off. It is, I don't know if you can see it, but it's just an old subway token. But the reason I got it is because on this side, it says good for one ride. Like, and where I was in my life when I came across this and bought it, it was my reawakening. And it really spoke to me. It's just like, Nicole, like with everything that you've been doing up until this point, it's been what it's been. It's been fine, it's been good, it's been dandy. But where you're about to go, like it is all about you. And I'm never selfish. I may have my moments where I keep to myself or I do things for myself, but at the core of who I am not selfish. So I had to kind of learn how to be selfish because I used to compromise on a lot of stuff. It's like, I'm not saying that I wouldn't talk about it, but it's just like, okay, well, if we talked about it and things seem to be okay, then I'm kind of okay with that. And lo and behold, I didn't know then what I know now, but that was compromising. So, to maintain your passion and drive, the secret things that fuel you: number one, don't compromise. Number two, let your passion stimulate everything you do. Like purpose and passion. Two P's. Maybe I'll put that on a t shirt. If you want a t shirt, let me know and I'll send it to you. But the two P's, purpose and passion, those are the thing that as you get older, I am turning 39 years old. One more year and I'm 40. I look at life differently. Like if it does not stimulate me, I'm not doing it. If I am not passionate about it, I am not doing it. I have gone through the phases of, trying things, seeing how it works out. I'm not doing that no more because it didn't get me anywhere that it is that I wanted to be. So why do I need to spend the rest of my life trying to do those things? So if it doesn't stimulate you, you got to let it go. And sometimes you're going to have to find a way to stimulate yourself, and sometimes like the most boring things. But the more you practice that, the more it becomes second nature, and that's what you look to first to be able to accomplish your goals and stay on the right path and continue to evolve your vision of the future. The third one is don't let the fear of failure hold you back. We are going to fail. There is no getting around that. Failure does not have to be an ending. Failure can be a lesson learned and a setup for a better opportunity next time. I can't tell y'all how many things that I have failed at. And if you look at me now, you'd be like, man, like you're highly successful, this, that, and the third. It's like, oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But you don't know what I wasn't successful at. You don't know about, I'm a baker as well. You don't know about when I burnt my first cake or, you know, um, I make, other crafts and things like that, like candles. You don't know about when I burnt myself. You don't know about how I feel about myself, like as a mom and how I show up when it comes to my daughter. There are, and I'll be 100% honest and transparent, there are, or have been, there have been thoughts of, am I failing her? Like, am I giving her the best version of myself when I was going through, my relocation and my divorce, which I'll get to in just a little bit. Um, I wasn't the nicest. And it took me a minute to see that. And I hate really that I even put her through the experience of that. And she being my daughter, she may not view it that way. but I know in my heart that's what it was. So, in understanding that and realizing this is not right, she didn't do anything to deserve any of this. And it wasn't like, anything physical or anything like that. It was just, I was very like closed off and curt, and I wouldn't give her grace and things like that. And it took some soul searching, and that's one of the factors that played a part in me relocating back to my hometown, Tulsa, Oklahoma. um I relocated from my daughter as well, so my daughter currently still lives in Houston for 2 more years, and then she's going to relocate to Tulsa. But I had to step like outside of myself, like as her mom and as the person that I previously was, like how I saw myself, to do what was best for the future me, the future our relationship, the future her. And in doing so, like it unlocks so many different things, not like within myself, but it also gave me the opportunity to like make my long distance relationship with my child what I want it to be, and not let it be what it's going to be because of the distance. So there was a certain fear of failure. Like if I'm not there, then not that I'm not her mom, but I'm not as active in her life, and I'm not raising her to be, future queen, aka the future me that, she's grown up to be. But getting out of that fear, it opened my eyes to so many possibilities. So, fourth thing is eliminate the pursuit of profit. If you're doing anything for the sole purpose of making a lot of money, you are defeating your purpose in life. Money should never be a passion in and of itself. Money is a tool to be able to help to facilitate living a life well done. Meaning, you have a car that gets you from point A to point B. I'm not saying you got to be around here, pushing a beater, but if you only bring in $50,000 a year, I mean, I'm saying you don't need a Maserati. You don't need that car note. You may not even need a Mercedes. Like, just find something that is a reliable means of transportation. Um, that you have a house. I mean, that you have a roof over your head, whether it's a house or an apartment, whatever the case may be, that your children are taken care of for their basic needs. Now, if you're in a position to give them also what they want, kudos. But right now, you need to like live and live well and not live outside of your means. The fifth one was find a hero. Like, who, we all got role models, whether you are 2, 8, or 38. There is someone that you look up to. There is someone that you look to that ideally, in some way, shape, or form, you want to mold what you do around them. A lot of times this happens in business, but what happens in business can also carry over into your personal life. So if you have a particular person that you feel is your hero, then put that in the comments. Let me know, who is your hero? Who is it that you look up to? Who is it that you feel gives you a great sense of inspiration about the person that you're becoming? If I'm being honest, mm, eh, my mom is one of my heroes, and it's just like looking at her situation and the things that we went through as I was growing up, and her working 2 jobs, not being at home with her children because she's trying to make ends meet. Like, that's hard. And I see more of that, like the understanding of that now that my daughter is away from me. But it's kind of the same thing. It's you You do what you have to in order to make life as a whole better for those you love. And yeah, my mom is definitely one of my heroes. And then the sixth thing is surround yourself with like-minded people. If you are a positive ray of sunshine and you're always around people who are Debbie Downers, energy changes and elevates energy. I will say that literally in every single conversation that I have. You will start, one or two things will happen. Either maybe you have the force that will change them from a Debbie Downer to a Sunshine Susan, or they will take you from a Sunshine Susan to a Debbie Downer. You need to get away from those people. A lot of times, like what I try to tell people is if you do it in business, if you have the mindset, if you are an entrepreneur, I know a lot of you are, what you do in business, it bleeds into your personal life and vice versa. So you need to be conscious and aware of the things and the people that you're surrounding yourself with. And I'm not saying surround yourself with yes people, like somebody that's always going to be like, oh man, you the bomb.com, you the best, like whatever the case may be. But you want people who think like you, who are on kind of the same track as you. Their journey is definitely going to look a little bit different, but the journey that they're taking is similar to yours. And it's just like, okay, like that's what's up. In the 2 years that I've been here, of which nobody really knew that I was, and we'll get into that in just a minute. Excuse me. Um, I kept to myself. I didn't hardly go anywhere. Only people that saw me was like family, a couple of friends, but I didn't ever tell anybody that I was here. So they thought I was just visiting from Houston. And when they would ask, I just sip my tea and be like, I'm saying. But last year in 2022, I had my 20-year reunion and I made it a point to go. And in doing so, like I had prayed before that and I said, Lord, I want community. I'm ready. Let me see what's out there. And I should have known better because every time I like say I'm ready, he's like, okay, I hear what you're ready for, but there's a whole different level of what I'm ready for. So I'm going to give you what I'm ready for because it is better than what you could even think. So that so much to say, like there have been so many new people that I have talked to, because the last time I saw some of my classmates was like over 20 years ago, or maybe even 10 years ago. So we've all grown, we've all matured, we've all changed. We are new people compared to the 18-year-olds that were fresh out of high school, starting on the journey of life. Like I said, I moved to Houston. I was gone for pretty much 18 years. I came back to visit, but I didn't visit. I visited family and I had a little collection of people that I would hang out with. Now it's just like the more the merrier. I'm seeking out opportunities to link up with like-minded people. And I'm also taking the opportunities to be able to do the same when it comes to Layla as well, because she's moving out here, but she does come out here for like the summers and stuff like that. So I want her to be able to start to build a community of her own. So she has support from people who are her same age and of the same, like-mindedness. So we are here tonight to talk about week number 4 and discuss courage. Courage, oh man, it's something. Like you have to, depending on the situation, sometimes you'll find like you have to channel your inner courage. I'm talking about legs crossed, yoga position, like for me, 2 years ago was like the biggest test of me looking for courage. Courage, I want to say courage is not fearlessness, but the ability to conquer and overcome fear. I'll say that again. Courage is not fearlessness. To a certain extent, you should not possess fearlessness when it comes to almost anything. You should have an understanding as it pertains to the things that promote fear, either in your thought process, your experiences, conversations, whatever the case may be. But you should not be 100%. I don't feel you should be 100% fearless, because if you are fearless, then you don't possess the ability to channel courage to be able to overcome that fear. So, courage is not fearlessness, but the ability to conquer and overcome fear. Courage can take many forms and is not limited to physical daring. So, like somebody base jumping off of a building, while it's courageous, that's not all there is. There are physical acts of courage, there are mental acts of courage, there are spiritual, emotional, like courage comes in many forms in many different ways. Sometimes standing up for your beliefs requires immense courage. Blazing a trail and daring to tread where others will not require remarkable bravery. Therefore, courage almost always is a quality um, that great people possess. We're talking about greatness. We're talking about unlocking it. We're talking about finding it. We're talking about making it happen. We're talking about achieving the quality of life that it is that we're destined for. You cannot get there without having the courage to be great. Courage, in my opinion, requires the following characteristics: conviction. Great people do not follow blindly, but know exactly where they stand. They are consistently passionate about their beliefs and never back down in the face of danger or adversity. When you know something, stand on it. Stand firm on it. So, as I take you through these characteristics, I am going to also talk about how these same characteristics, like how I showed up in the situation of my separation, my relocation, and my divorce, because those three things, they happened in that order: my separation, my relocation, and my divorce. In being in my relationship, I was in my relationship, my previous relationship, for a decade, 10 whole years. Together in a relationship, 7. Married, technically, hmm. Oh, married, technically, 5. Oh, Lord. Sorry, you're seeing that in real time. You're seeing how it just hit me. I thought it was less, but that's neither here nor there. So, in a relationship for 7, married 5. But I was physically like with this person for like 10 years. And in all of the things that we had experienced together as a couple, there was still a side and an element of it that it was just my own. Because I am a vocal person, I'll say, what I need, how I feel about something. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So it's like it's easily known if you're looking and you're paying attention to it. So just in the thing that we faced and trying to make things better and work things out, like I felt like I was consistently the hamster on the wheel. It's just like, okay, I'm going up, something comes up that stops the wheel. I'm gonna bring it up, I'm gonna address it, I'm gonna see how it makes me feel, and then we'll go from there. So bring it up, address it, see how it feels. It's acknowledged at that time. All right, the wheel is back to running. We're good. I'm going up. Something comes up that stops the hamster wheel. And it's just like after Like I said, I'm a very transparent person. After so many years of being in this constant state of motion and then stop and then motion and then stop, I got to a point to where it's just like we have to not try to figure this out. We have to figure this out, or neither one of us is going to, one, like the other person, two, want to be with the other person, and three, not resent the other person. I am a prayer by nature, and I'm trying to get better at not praying, when something bad is going on or when I'm worrying about something, but to give praise for the good things and how my life is continuing to progress. Um, but one of my I was in London in 2018 on my way to Spain with my one of my best friends for her birthday. And she had experienced some relationship woes as well. And my girls, like it's just a handful of them, but we are very honest. We are very like forthcoming. We are very open. We have a true support system, support, no judgment, low key. Sometimes we might be like, friend, okay, I'm gonna judge you for that one, but it's still out of love. It's not true judgment. So, in her knowing about what I had been experiencing to a certain extent within my relationship, and her sharing previously what she had experienced in hers, she told me about a prayer that she prays. And it's a very simple prayer. But what it does is it unlocks, oh, so much more than what I thought I was looking for. And that same prayer is continuing to unlock more and more and more and more up until this point. But it says, if it's meant to be, show me that. And if it's not, show me that too. And when that prayer was prayed, it was just like, hold on to your seat. You don't know what's coming. But at the same time, it unlocked a level of conviction in me to know that I'm doing and I'm giving the best that I can. And if I'm not being met where I need to be met, if we are not able to navigate beyond these particular fundamental differences, then something has to be done. So, my first thing was my conviction. So, I came to the realization that the people who we were at that point were no longer compatible. We didn't know how to get back on, I can't even say the same page. We weren't in the same book anymore. So once that understanding was revealed to me, then leaning on the conviction that I had, knowing that I needed to do something for me. First, my thought was, okay, well, I'll just look for, a new house in Houston so I can be out there with my daughter, and nothing else came to mind. But like I said, if it's meant to be, show me that. And if it's not, show me that too. I was shown that continuing to live in Houston, I would not necessarily be happy. I would not have a sense of fulfillment in my life. So my conviction continued to grow. All right, where do I need to be? Tulsa came into the mix. And if anybody knows me from high school, like when I went to Texas to get away from home, but I wanted to be close enough so if something was to happen, I could get back. So when the little sprinkle of Tulsa came into the mix, I didn't pay it any mind. I was like, okay, it's there, but let me get on Truly and Zillow and find these houses. And then the more I tried to ignore it, the more it grew. So then there became more opportunities, more doors that were open for business, for me to be able to relocate and have money when I relocated. The apartment that I'm in now, I'm actually about to move out, but the apartment that I'm in now, I rented it sight unseen. The leasing staff was very nice at that time. Everything was just working itself out. Sorry about that. Um, she's obviously not watching this, but it's okay. She's probably getting off of work. So it was just like so many things, so many doors and windows. Like that house was airing out, the house being me. So I packed up the house, U-Haul. I drove the U-Haul down here by myself. Like that's how convicted I was on following the path that was shown to me. Like I could have gave up. I could have been like, oh, okay, well, hold on, moving to Tulsa, like that's daunting. That's huge. I don't have nobody to drive this U-Haul, whatever the case may be. No, I said, forget that. Me and my two dogs in my, 26-foot box truck. We flew down the highway, got here, ended up getting unpacked, and being able to lean first on the conviction that I had that I was making the right decision, it helped to build the next characteristic, which is confidence. Um, I've always felt some way about myself, so my confidence has been in question prior to now. But now, where I am after taking the time, doing the work, elevating my mindset, you can't tell me nothing. Like you can say it, but that doesn't mean I have to believe it. So confidence is believing in yourself and what you want to achieve gives you the confidence to pursue your vision. So when you believe in yourself, when you believe in what it is that you feel like you want, then the things that you need, they will grow. Confidence also means trusting your skills and your capabilities. Like what you're capable of doing, stand on it. Be confident in it. Like I said, I'm a baker. I'm not out here, decorating masterpieces or turning cakes into other things. And my daughter asks me all the time, she's like, Mommy, can you do this? And can you do that? And I'm like, baby, no. But what I can do is I can make a cake taste amazing. I can take a dessert, a traditional dessert, and turn it into another baked form. But that's where my confidence lies. Like when you're confident, you don't care what others think about you because your self-confidence is unshakable. And I can't wait to get to that. Like that's another talking session for another day. But yeah, unshakable confidence. Like you only have one life. There is only one you in this world. There is only one version of this future that it is that you want to achieve. You have to have confidence. You have to have confidence to be able to know that whatever reason you want to get to that point is a good enough reason. It doesn't have to be for everybody else. However your body looks after that baby, or having like 6 and 7 year olds, maybe you do got a dad bod, and so what? Find somebody who loves it, but love it yourself first. Everybody is created to be different, but at the same time, there are a lot of people in this world. I won't say everybody because I can't, but there are a lot of people in this world who are really trying, for some ungodknown reason, to be like everybody else. Find your confidence in who you are and start working on being great. The next characteristic is integrity. We are all born with an inner compass that enables us to distinguish between right and wrong. Courage means not being swayed from what we know is right. It means pursuing our goals with integrity. It is not stepping on other people and selling ourselves out in the process. However, it may take longer to achieve what we want. Being loyal to your values is what is known as the courage of your convictions. So, and I kind of forgot, like this really means a lot to me and it's rooted in my story. So my confidence grew from taking the time to be by myself, to let what needed to fall off of me, and what needed to come on me. My confidence has grown in being able to, like, honestly, I have a fear of public speaking. So even being here, having these conversations with you guys right now, like, there are certain elements of my inner me where it's just like, oh my God, are they seeing this? Did I say this right? I stuttered right there, whatever the case may be. But you sometimes you got to lean more on your confidence and say, shut up, just do it. But being able to have conversations with random strangers, and that's not something that I would do. In leaning on my conviction first of where I was within my process, adding in my newfound level of confidence, I've always been a person of integrity. I believe in making sure that the way you show up is the way you show up, not a representative, not a deceiver, not any of that, but being authentically, like I said in my mission, it is to identify and live as my authentic self. Like, coming out of a relationship, and when you sit down and do the work and you actually, let all those things come in and come into the space, all the thoughts that you push to the side, the insecurity, stuff like that. Now, where I am, being in an opportunity, like, to have a relationship at some point, you take me for who I am. It's not a my way or the highway type thing. This is who I am, like, physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Like, this is Nicola Trees, Pisces, and all. The other person, I would expect them to be a person of integrity and authenticity. I get caught up saying that word sometimes. Come to me as who you are. And then we're supposed to figure out where it is that we're trying to go. Same thing in my relationship with my daughter. Like, you're 8. I understand that you don't know everything. I also understand that you expect mommy to know everything. I don't. If I did, I'd be super rich. But in having that understanding that she's not going to know everything, or she's not going to remember to always do her chores, even though they're posted up on the wall right behind my computer, because, this is a shared space. Like, she's still trying to do her best. She is still leaning on the conviction of what it is that she does know, and she just needs a gentle reminder along the way. Okay, cool. I can give her that. But the lying, the sneakiness, that is not a person that is not a person. No, that is not a choice of integrity. And that is what, like, also pushed me to go ahead with my relocation, is just because we needed a reset. I needed to be able to fall back and give her the opportunity to really see who she is. Not, what I've taught her up until this point or how I feel like she should be, but who she really is. And to be able to expound upon that, to be able to have more intentional conversations on behavior and choices and, those types of things, and just laying it out there. Hey, this is what you're, kind of expected to do when you take care of what you need to. And this is the way I talk to my daughter. When you take care of what you need to, then you can do what you want to. And slowly but surely, we're starting to really get into the swing of her understanding with that. But all that does is it helps to build her integrity, because it's the same thing in life when she gets older. When you do what you need to, it presents more opportunities for you to be able to do and have what it is you want to. So the next one, oh yeah, I definitely did this, is leave your comfort zone. Courageous people live outside of their comfort zone. They realize that major changes may be necessary to attain their vision, and are brave enough to be disruptors and masters of change. I have completely left my comfort zone. I am not going to lie. Um, Getting in that U-Haul, like leaving the place that I mean, I left Tulsa at 18. I left Houston after 18 years. Like, but there was still a certain level of the unknown. So in the 2 years since I relocated back and nobody knew that I was here, that was me living in the fear of leaving my comfort zone. I know me. I know me without anybody else. But I can't live a life without anybody else. It's just not how I'm built. God didn't make us that way either. But with the broken person that I was at that time, I knew that I could not be broken and enter into other situations and interactions with other people. So I needed to give myself that time. And in doing so, now, like the thing that it still makes me nervous sometimes, but the thing that I look forward to doing is staying out of my comfort zone. Because if you're out of your comfort zone, that means you're in a place and a space for an opportunity of growth, whether that's in business or personal. Like, that's the way that it works. That's how you know you're on your way to something else. Because if you were comfortable with it, it's just like, hey, you think about it haphazardly. You don't even give it a whole bunch of thought. But when you're in a period where things feel uncomfortable, take it from me as your coach, there is comfort on the other side of being uncomfortable. It's just going to take some time to get past that initial uncomfortable feeling. The next characteristic plays a part in that. Welcome the unknown. Treading where others have feared to tread is the height of courage. Think of how many great people have changed history by sailing unknown waters with no anchor except their blazing passion and conviction. Now, I don't know if it's true, but like, when I think about that, really, it takes me to Uncharted, where where they were looking for the treasure, and they had said that was it Cortez? Whoever the Spaniard was, he blew up some of the ships, so they didn't have a way to turn back. Welcome the unknown. If you know that there is something that like leads a little path, a little breadcrumb back to your comfort zone, hey, dust that off. Let them birds eat them breadcrumbs. Welcome the unknown, because when you welcome the unknown, the space that you're going to, I promise you, it is bigger than what you ever thought that it would be. And when you have your vision, when you have your spirituality, when you have your religion, when you have those things that are higher and greater than you that you can lean on, man, I promise you, you will get to a place that is supercalifragilisticexpialidocious beyond where you thought it would be. I promise. Great people embrace the unknown and are eager for new challenges because they have the confidence to overcome them. Again, confidence is key. You have it in you, it is a part of your greatness. Let it out, let it show, let it be what it needs to be. Your confidence is you. Let it shine, let it show through. So, in closing, greatness always has a price. Great people understand and are willing to pay it. They are ready to make great sacrifices in order to pave new roads for others to follow. However, they never lose their integrity along the way. Like I said, if you are anything like me, I am doing this. I am a coach because of my journey. So that's my look back at the past. I am a coach because of the passion and the mission and the movement that I want to get out into the world now, so that then it sets everything up for a better future for my daughter when I'm no longer here, but she has the fundamental building blocks to be able to navigate any pitfall that may come her way. She's a Pisces just like me. So some things may be different, but history does have a way of repeating itself. And it's just like, I don't want her to experience some of the same challenges that I did if she doesn't necessarily have to, because I know she will be up against her own set of challenges. So that is the end of our discussion. Thank you for joining me yet again for another amazing opportunity to connect and to share insight and to just tell you a little bit about my story. We will be back next week. I promise. The break is over. And we will talk about, oh, for some of you, you may not tune in for this one, but the next secret, I'm gonna go ahead and give it out now so you can get prepared for it, is patience. And with that being said, you have to have the patience for us to come back next week here in the group at 7 p.m., like we always do, to be able to have our next moment of connection. I hope you all have a very wonderful evening. I hope you have a very good weekend and get out there and make some memories. Memories are the one thing that, you can take with you. So I'll see you guys next time, and I wish you all the best.